Okay. That was weird. A little bit of a delay with the microphone connecting for whatever reason. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to more Phoenix Wright. I am a little bit under the weather today. So I actually napped at hello, Tay. I actually napped around 2:15 and I woke up at whenever about 2 minutes before I texted in the Discord that I was running a bit behind schedule. I actually set the alarm for like 5:30 and I blew like right past it anyway, so I apparently needed it. I was wondering how committed I was going to be to the bit. Did I want to bring in the Phoenix Wright mask and start going, what shoe, and then have it hit me in the face? But I decided probably not. And but all of you picture it in your head and laugh uproariously because that was a potential idea. Case four, we're on case four finally of this five-case game. They all seem to be named Turnabout in some way, shape, or form. So I could only imagine five is going to be Turnabout, Turnabout. That's the only logical name it could be. Uh, but we'll see how I feel. Initially, I was worried because I'm like, do I want to wear a suit with the chills and everything else I was going through? And I was like, probably not. But that nap kind of fixed a lot of things. I'm doing a lot better now. So quite happy. Um, I do wonder. Oh, camera's off. Game's off. Everything is working as intended. Let's fix that. But hope everyone's doing well. Oh, it might help if I actually have the capture card program on. That's usually pretty important. Much better. So Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. I think it'll take us back to the regular menu rather than having going right into the actual. Oh, never mind. I lied. The girl. Let her go. Shut up. Come closer, and I kill her. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. My goodness, she's shooting gavels. She makes the same sound. I'm reading through the file of an old court case. It was the first case of my longtime mentor, Mia Fey. Fugitive data. Picture. Data 1. Name Terry Falls. Well, he did. Kidnapping, murder, sentence, death penalty. Oh, shoot! Just like Phoenix Wright's mouse. After escaping Falls, met with and then murdered Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, recaptured on Eagle Mountain about 8 hours after his escape. The judge is the real killer, yes. Ruh-roh. Her very first client had a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before Mia and I ever met. Six years earlier, Mia Fey, first trial. So this would be before the trial of that person who vowed to be back. That's not giving her a lot of time to come back. So we'll have to see how that works out. Defendant lobby number 4. I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm going to die. I never should have accepted this case. Yeah. Good morning. Don't be so jumpy, Mia. You only don't know law, apparently, as we know from case 2. I didn't do nothing, I swear, I didn't kill nobody. Terry Falls, my first client. Sentenced to death 5 years ago, and now, a prison escapee. I wonder if the 073D has like any sort of like Easter egg meaning. I'm sure it does. I just don't know what it is. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax him. So why did you escape anyway? I'm sorry. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. I didn't escape from nowhere. Yeah, so because I'm trying to be a little bit more, I kind of realize that, I don't know, I don't want to get too into the the weeds of pointing out the localization is just a little bit too much. Like, I feel like I can eventually get to the point where it just kind of overflows, and I'm like, I refuse to have any fun with this. It's too silly, and I'm like, I don't want to really get to that point if I can help it. There is still like I do think case 3 is the best case that we've had of this game so far, but I still want to see how the rest of the game plays out, how the rest of the players are going to come back if at all, and how this all connects. Although I will say the mystery of who of basically who the prosecutor isn't really taking as deep a hold as like a lot of the mystery of the other games. So we'll just have to see. Although I do think Ado is pretty interesting of a character. Yes, I know. It's like ruh-roh with the judge diving underneath the stand. Like everybody's just been diving left and right, and it's like it's becoming a running gag of Maya just screaming every time somebody says something, like in every case. And I'm like, she didn't tend to do that as much in the other games. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling about this. It's like Phoenix Wright 1 was just like them trying to get into into the Western market, which I understand. 2, I felt like with Case 1's opening was still like, we still need to have an opening that might catch and enrapture new players, and then the third game's like, we're Phoenix fucking Wright, we can do whatever we want, and it's just like, it just went, the characters just became like extremely like caricatures of what they already existed as, and I'm like, I don't know. Definitely a weak point, but I'm harping about it too much already, but probably rightfully so. I never lie. I didn't escape from nowhere. But Mr. Falls, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago. Sorry, I told a little lie. Oh boy. But anyway, I didn't do it. I never killed nobody. Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right? I'm really, really sorry. They sentenced me to die 5 years ago, but I was tricked to tell you. That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear it, I didn't kill her. I could never do that. 2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. Then about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before the police could recapture him. The police believe that Terry Falls did it. After you escaped, did you meet a policewoman? Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped, so that much is true. He did meet with the victim. But he didn't kill her. She was alive when I left. She was alive. It's true. I can trust him, right? I mean, I should. Ha. Oh, hello. We're just, okay. Well, mystery solved. It's this guy. From case 1. You're not going to figure out the truth just by staring at the guy. Why are you here? I came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big, scary lion's den. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with. Where is Mr. Grossberg? Ha, that old man is probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Oh, it's Armando. Of course. Armando. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego Armando. I didn't say... So, Diego Armando, the finest attorney at Grossberg Law Offices, is here for me? No. You've got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. Imagine. An escaped death row convict for a first client. Yeah, thanks. I sure wish I could get out of it, though. Ha, relax. I just heard some good news. Well, he didn't. You just said that in front of him. The prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well. Really? However, unlike a certain somebody who I won't mention, he's earned the reputation as a genius since beginning his law career. Genius? Well, it's about time to head in, kitten. Sharpen those claws of yours. It's go time. A solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him, but not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and heard that simple, childlike voice, I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth. February 16th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 4. Primal Fear story incoming. Welcome, Suitcase. Oh, it's this judge from the other case that the Spamton guy was in, that we had to take him from. Court is now in session for the trial of Terry Falls. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. I understand the lawyers for both sides are newcomers. Yes, Your Honor. I'm Mia Fey. Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. So you're the new prosecutor everyone's talking about, eh? They say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age. At 20, Your Honor. I guess a little kitten hasn't earned herself much of a reputation yet, huh? Come on, Mia. You can't lose. Not to someone younger than you. Young people running a trial. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon on death row. 2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon. Is that correct? Precisely. But the defendant is not on trial for escaping prison. On the day that the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered. So we're here to determine if Mr. Falls was responsible for her death? You got it, kid. Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statement. Yes, Your Honor. It was 5 years ago. The defendant, Terry Falls, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old. A truly horrible crime. I remember it well. There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted. Correct. But in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness's testimony. A witness's testimony? The testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. She arrested Mr. Falls at the scene and later testified against him. She said she witnessed Mr. Falls throw his young victim into the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. So Miss Hawthorne's testimony was the one that put him away. That policewoman you just mentioned. That wouldn't be exactly the victim, the same woman that was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Ah, I see. The man who was sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped 2 days ago, with only one thing on his mind, to take revenge against the woman who convicted him. Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes, yes. It's quite obvious that the defendant is guilty. Wait a minute, that's not right. At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor. Watch yourself, Miss Fey. I'm not sure I care for your word choice or your tone of voice. Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders. Why, you're even younger than me, you hypocrite. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness. I called the detective who was in charge of the initial investigation of this case. So I'm wondering how this is going to work. Clearly we have a flashback. Phoenix is looking through old files. Does this mean we're going to be skipping the investigations phase? Is this going to cut forward to the present? Is there going to be some element of this we have to investigate in the present? Like a case that was like a cold case 2 times over, and like I guess it's going to be the 3rd time's the charm? I'm wondering where this is going to go. I doubt we're going to investigate in this flashback and go like overworld break. There's certainly no psyche locks to break. Not with Mia. I called the detective who was in charge of the initial investigation of this case. Super cold as ice case. That's true. It can't get much colder than this. Oh my gosh. Imagine what his salary was 6 years ago. Witness, state your name and occupation. Gumshoe. Dick Gumshoe. I'm the homicide detective in charge of the case, sir. He actually, look at his jacket is lighter color too. I finally got promoted to the detective division half a year ago. I don't believe anyone asked you about that. Hey, ma'am, you got any idea how much work it takes? What is it? You're really gorgeous. Excuse me? No, seriously, my heart, it's aching for you. Detective, pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, I'll write you up for contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache. The decline of his salary begins now, apparently. Okay, I got it. Vanilla Ice will be the judge. Now, detective, tell us about the incident. Yes, sir, right away. The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran of the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. That much is already stated in the autopsy report. Oh yeah, we should probably look at what we have. Stabbed with a knife in the back, died from blood loss between 4 and 5 p.m. Profiles, please. Terry Falls is 25. My client sentenced to death 5 years ago, escaped from custody 2 days ago. I guess they were very, very slow at killing him. I don't understand why he's not dead yet. Any event, Valerie Hawthorne, age 23, police officer and the victim, the key witness in the case against Falls 5 years ago. And then there's Diego Armando, age 27, a hotshot lawyer, my senior and rival at the office. A bit smug. Miles Edgeworth, dubbed a genius as soon as he started as a prosecutor. Today is his court debut. Dick Gumshoe, age 26, homicide detective in charge of the initial investigation, still new to his position. Alright, that is everybody's profile. What do we have to say about our badge? Proof of my profession, it's brand new and sparkles in the light. Yes, it's unfortunately Gumshoe's salary. Not doing so well. That much is already stated in the autopsy report. The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself. Yes, sir. I gotcha. Okay, let's take a look at this aerial map of the area here. This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge, an old suspension bridge, and the river that runs under there is Eagle River. The victim and the defendant met here, on top of the bridge. After stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. He was recaptured at a police checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway. I see. Dusky Bridge map added to the court record. So there's a kilometer scale, I think? No, it couldn't have been kilometer, right? Yeah, yard. I was about to say kilometers. That's a ridiculously long bridge. Yard, 5 yard as the scale. Got it. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge? The victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. Unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge. Mr. Edgeworth, I warn you that I absolutely despise conjecture. If there was no blood on the bridge, then you have no proof that they even met there. Your Honor? If you would listen to the testimony we have prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day. Why, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm not sure I like you, wagging your finger at me as though I was some hoser. Detective, proceed with your testimony. Yes, sir. Here we go, Mia. Hang on. Okay, now, listen carefully, kitten. One little mistake and this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me and get ready. Who is this person that likes tea? They can't possibly be Godot that we know and love. Summary of the incident. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. The criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. Well, you certainly have established the importance of the bridge. Naturally. Now, would the defense please hurry up and proceed with the cross-examination? Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination. Coming right up. Hey, settle down there, kitten. If you keep trembling like that, you're gonna make me spill my coffee. I'm not trembling. It's just cold in here. The courtroom can be a cold battlefield, all right, especially for a beginner. Oh, thank you so much for redeeming the Yinhao Jasmine Green. Yes, I remember you telling me there was that kind of an error with it before where you can't redeem unless you refresh. I don't know why it does that. Let me go ahead and press the button. Water's already ready to go. All right, all set? I don't need you to worry about me. I mean the defendant, the witness, everyone's a beginner in here. Even the judge is a beginner, I guess. Ha, you got me there. But maybe you should keep your claws out and show them what you've got, kitten. All right, it's okay, Mia. Stay calm. What the hell's a court record? I have no idea what's going on. Just remember those court procedure videos you stayed up all night watching. Maybe. Summary of the incident. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the surgeon and asked to meet. This unknown person. You have no idea who it might be, right? Sorry, but I'm afraid I do. What? The one who called. Sergeant Hawthorne was the defendant, Terry Falls. What? The defendant? The defendant called her? Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. She left a note about her phone call with Mr. Falls. A note? Yeah, a top-secret memo that she left on her desk. Victim's note added to the court record. Well, let me take a look. Confidential police materials written by the victim. Touch the check button for details. At 4:30 p.m. at that bridge, wear white scarf for identification. Did they find the scarf? Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Memo was taken February 14th at 1:21 p.m. Yeah, it does say Falls, doesn't it? According to this note, it seems the one who called her to the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Falls. Whose bright idea was it to keep that note from me? Ha, looks like the judge is even more sure of his verdict now. Listen up. Never ask a question if you don't already know the answer. It's that detective's fault. He's the one that said unknown person. Hey now, don't make that face at me. I just said it that way because the prosecutor told me to. Sorry about that. I was actually surprised I hadn't been sneezing earlier than that. Was that a trap? With that cute face, I didn't expect him to be so sneaky. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. It says that bridge. So what's the significance of it? A bridge up in the mountains? But why meet there? Because it is a very important place to the defendant. That's why. What do you mean by that? If you remember, 5 years ago, the defendant kidnapped a young girl. He was chased onto a bridge, and it was there that he killed his hostage. And the place where all of this occurred is, of course, Dusky Bridge. The very place where Sergeant Hawthorne arrested and handcuffed Mr. Falls. Ha, returning to the scene of the crime. How nostalgic. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. Was the body of the victim discovered right away? Yeah, we were really on the ball. We found the criminal within 1 hour of the murder. It was great. We even got to say, "Don't move, we've got you surrounded." Wait a second. Isn't there something weird about that? The location was a suspension bridge up in the mountains. So how did they find out about the crime so quickly? Sergeant Hawthorne must have mentioned the phone call to someone else, right? If that's what had happened, then she wouldn't have been killed. She never mentioned the phone call from Mr. Falls, but she left a note on her desk. How many notes? Her desk is littered with this stuff. If only I had noticed it earlier. Maybe she'd still be alive. I wonder why she didn't mention the phone call to anyone. The criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Did they recover the scarf in it, I wonder? Mr. Falls had a car then? Well, that bridge is way up in the mountains, ma'am. The defendant and the victim both went up there by car. I mean, how else, right? What? You mean the defendant drove his own car? No, of course not. It was stolen. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at the red light. Car thieves. I'm not sure how I feel about car thieves. Is this guy sure about how he feels about anything? This is a photo of the stolen car's trunk. No, I bet you there's gonna be no scarf. Zero scarf. Yep. Naturally, that's the body of Valerie Hawthorne in there. Whoa, that doesn't look too comfortable. Crime photo added to the court record. The victim, she was stabbed in the back, correct? Yeah. Ha. For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back. We're talking about a woman here. You can't tell from this photo, but the knife was stuck in her back, nice and firm. Well, it was like such a very obvious piece of clothing that I'm like, wear this for identification. I'm like, okay, you're hitting pretty strongly at what I need to look for. Tea is ready. I'm glad I sealed the container because I just dropped it on the floor. It's all still in there. All right, one moment. All right, we're just gonna let that brew for a bit. I anticipate my tea selection redeem changing as of Thursday, because I am fairly positive someone is gonna get me tea for Christmas, and probably not just one but multiple. So I'll have more selections to work with. The condition of the body when it was discovered is very important information. Detective, was there anything strange or noteworthy in the trunk of the car? Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange. Do you? Anyway, okay, they're making it obvious I have to present here. What did the defendant have to say about this photo? What he always says, ma'am. I didn't do it. I didn't do nothing. That's all he says. Nothing? I wouldn't say he did nothing. At the very least, we know he stole a car. It's just what he always says, Your Honor. And then he always says, sorry, I told... Why? Pardon me. Or something like that. Well, in any case, it seems he was caught and arrested. Precisely. He was arrested at the police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. Let's press just to get more detail, and then we'll present. That certainly is some impressive police work. Well, no, actually, it was way too close for comfort. We set up that checkpoint just after 5 p.m. We figured that Mr. Falls might just try to run. What do you mean it was too close for comfort? The two of them arranged to meet at 4:30 p.m., and it takes approximately 30 minutes to go from the bridge to the checkpoint. Okay, that's right, the memo was taken slightly after 1, but the meetup was 4:30, got it. To go from the bridge to the checkpoint. Let me take a look at the bridge map. The checkpoint isn't really displayed on this, but understood. I'll just clock it. It's about 30 minutes. That was kinda close. Any later, Mr. Falls could have slipped right by. Listen up, kid. There's a big trap waiting for you in that testimony. A trap? Walk into it carelessly and it'll leave more than just a flesh wound. Fun, huh? No, it's not. Well, if you want to have any chance at all, you'd better get some more information. And if you're going to get caught in a trap, it's best to get caught early. You could always look for contradictions afterward. The ever-famous contradictions. I sure hope I can find some of those. Alright, let's get to this section. Alright, present. Wrong one. Victim's note.
Objection!
Witness. What is it? Do you have something to say, Miss Fay? I'm sorry. I totally forgot what I was going to say. This is the first time I've ever had to actually address someone like that. You should have practiced before coming to court. Well, you objected to the judge making a ruling. You've actually done this once before already, so you're wrong. So, okay. Honestly, Miss Fay, I'm not sure I like this. Say there, little kitten. Want a piece of my coffee candy? Candy? Well, you're still too young to be drinking real coffee. Come on, Mia. Shake it off. You're a lawyer. Detective? Yes, ma'am? This photo. You said that there was nothing peculiar about it. Is that correct? Yeah, that's what I said. Well then, I suggest you take another look at this note written by the victim. The note? It very clearly says, wear white scarf for identification. The caller must have forgotten what the victim looked like, thus this special request. I have one very simple question for you, detective. Where is the white scarf? I can't seem to find it in this photo. Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, ma'am. And you stopped there? You should have looked for it. Ah, right, the salary. The caller told her to wear it to identify herself, so I'd expect she did just that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have to say about this? I see the defense is a little lacking. The scarf you are searching so desperately for. It is this one, perchance? Ah, where did you find that, sir? On Dusky Bridge. I was there first and decided to conduct my own investigation. Why? Why didn't you tell me? I made a decision to keep all pieces of evidence in my personal satchel. It's the safest place I know. That hotshot sure has flair for the dramatic. It's not exactly white as the caller requested, but as you can see, it's close enough for what it was intended for. It looks like it spent some time in the mud. Not surprising. It was drizzling on the mountain that day. I feel like that detail's gonna matter. Prosecutor Edgeworth. He was intentionally hiding that scarf the whole time. The court will accept the scarf into evidence. Scarf added to the court record. Now, if the attorney for the defense is finished embarrassing herself. Found on Dusky Bridge. Okay, no other further investigation or checking of it. I'd like to move on with the testimony. That is all right with you, isn't it, Miss Fay? Boy, would I like to wrap this scarf around his smarmy little neck. Very good. Now, if we're done with this mud-covered scarf business, the prosecution moves to establish conclusively, and with hard evidence, that Miss Hawthorne and Mr. Falls did indeed meet on the bridge that day. Further, we will show exactly what occurred there. That sounds quite promising. I can't wait to hear all about it. Everything is moving at his whim. Don't forget, kitten, there's a reason why everyone considers this kid a genius. A genius, huh? Events on Dusky Bridge? Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows her wearing the scarf, sir. Where would they have had to have taken the picture according to the Dusky Bridge map? Okay. Oh, okay, so they met kind of at that intersection. I don't see how anyone could see it. Oh, never mind, never mind. The only place that they could take the photo... This photo can, well, I mean, there's a little bit of a rocky cliff. Or either that or that's a post. I can't tell. I assume they would take the picture from top left. Like right at that edge. Although let me, if I could use the power of my mouse cursor, like right around here. Like right around this location maybe? Because they couldn't have taken it from here, this is in the way. Unless that's the contradiction. But it looks so close that I would think it has to be here. Either that, or we have to turn this on its head and they met on this side, which, I don't know. The car was here, though. Anyway, I'm gonna let them continue. Let me get the mouse cursor off before I forget. Oh, okay, I can't advance the text because I'm in the court record. My mistake. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off. Looking at this photo, you really get the sense that this bridge is very high up. It is about a 40-feet drop from the bridge to the Eagle River down below. Mr. Edgeworth, who took this photo anyway? Let's just say that it was a well-intentioned third party. Ah, a potential witness. So why isn't this person in the courtroom? Well, they said they absolutely did not want to testify. The person in question is very delicate, Your Honor. Besides, as long as we have this photo, we see no reason to compel her to testify. Where did they establish the victim? Didn't they establish the victim and the other person on the opposite sides? I can't remember. Because it doesn't show the victim. They showed it briefly in the previous testimony, but there's certainly a problem with the photo. I just have to figure out what it was. I don't know if it's what I clocked or something else. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Witness's photo added to the court record. So, as you can see, Terry Falls had both the motive and the opportunity. I think it's quite clear at this point what happened on the bridge. Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes, it's quite obvious. He is clearly guilty. Not again, that's not fair. I haven't even done my cross-examination yet. What do you mean, Events on Dusky Bridge. Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. Who is this eyewitness? She's a college student. Lotta Hart, perhaps? A female college student? That's right. Meaning she's female and a college student. She doesn't do well in front of other people, so I came to testify for her. Maybe so, but as the attorney for the defense, I have the right to cross-examine her. For the time being, we're not relying on the witness's statements, that is all. What is that supposed to mean? The prosecution has other, more decisive evidence. Our case doesn't rely on the vague testimony of a female college student. A female college student, eh? It means she's female and a college student, sir. If you absolutely must hear her testimony, you'll have to give us a good reason why. Please tell us about the more decisive evidence in question. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows her wearing the scarf, sir. I don't think she was that young. I mean, it was only 6 years ago. The victim was wearing a scarf in that... Excuse me, let me drink some water here. Let's see if the tea is cold enough now. No. Little longer. The victim is wearing a scarf in that photo, all right. So about the witness who took this photo. What was this person doing all the way in the mountains? She was taking photos of wild flowers, apparently. There are many unusual types of flora on that mountain, Miss Faye. People in the area say it's because of the spirits that live there. Spirits? Now that you mention it, this photo, this cloudy fog-like thing. Is it a ghost? I don't believe it. No, Your Honor, no, I don't think it's a ghost. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Drizzling, huh? That's right. There was a light rain coming down. The whole place was dreary. But not as dreary as the mood in this courtroom's right now. Looks like a cold front just moved in. In any case... The point is that the area was quite damp. There was even some fog. I even slipped and fell while I was on the bridge. It was really something. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Is it as simple as pointing out, like, she's in front of him? And I was like, you can't say it's behind? I guess you could just, like, whoop, turn her around and just be like, doop, put the knife in, but I don't know. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Is that part of the witness's testimony as well? Of course it is. He pushed the victim hard in the back and she fell down right on her stomach. I remember that happening once myself. It was really brutal. Are you talking about seeing someone get pushed, or were you the one getting pushed? Or does it mean that you pushed someone down like that once? With his mind-boggling tales and the way he said brutal, I wonder if he's Canadian. Ha! Save your nasty look for the right person. Huh? Take a look. Poor baby. The court record seems to have wet itself. Hey, watch where you spill your coffee. The court record, huh? Hint, hint, I suppose, hint, hint. So I guess what he's saying is I need to press on that, which makes sense. Criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. And then that must have been when the scarf fell off. So in other words, there was a struggle between the criminal and the victim, huh? That's what the witness said. Well, it looks like she didn't remember about the scarf. But from what she said, it sounded like a pretty violent fight, ma'am. The area was wet from rain. The bridge was probably wet too. Which would explain why the scarf was all covered in mud, but it wouldn't explain... Okay, I'm approaching this from the wrong angle. They are really emphasizing the fact that it was rainy and muddy, and her clothes were pristine in the trunk. So I think I'm focusing on the wrong thing for right now. I think the real evidence I need to present here is the fact that she is pretty unblemished clothing, despite the fact that she fell on her stomach, according to Gumshoe. Meanwhile, somehow the scarf got all the brunt of it. There's something about this testimony that's still bothering me. Talk about a surprise, I had no idea there was a photo. So what do? You really still believe him? Mr. Crybaby, I mean? Of course I do. So the little kitten believes in fairy tales, huh? In that case, the answer is obvious. If what you believe is the truth, then that means that somewhere, hidden in that testimony is a contradiction. One huge contradiction waiting to be discovered. That's your chance. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so I'm going to present on this, and I'm going to present the crime photo.
Objection!
So at the time of the crime, there was a light drizzle coming down, correct? Yeah, and fog too, just a generally soggy atmosphere. Well, I have evidence that doesn't go with that soggy atmosphere. But this is a photo of the victim's body that was found in the car trunk. Considering the conditions at the scene of the crime, something isn't right. Well, by all means, please enlighten us as to what isn't right. What is it about this photo of the trunk that doesn't fit with the conditions that day? Naturally, the answer is right here. The victim's coat? As far as I can see, there was nothing strange about that. Yeah, I'm glad. It seemed like this was the error, specifically about being pushed from behind, and so it was. Felt it was the statement that would have established getting the coat wet or dirty. As far as I can see, there's nothing strange about it. That's exactly what's strange. Remember the testimony. What were the conditions on the bridge that day? It was drizzling and foggy. Dusky Bridge was all wet. If the victim really had fallen down on her stomach on top of the bridge, then the front of her coat should have been covered in mud. That's exactly right. The other day I fell on a muddy street and my gorgeous playoff beard was befouled. I do admit that the crime scene was quite wet that day. However, that doesn't mean that the top of the bridge itself was muddy. If your Honor had fallen in the shower instead of on a muddy street, his glorious hockey beard, pride of the legal league, would be wet but not muddy. Fortunately, I have yet to test that. Still, your point is well taken. Can you prove that the surface of the bridge was muddy that day? The surface of the bridge? What? I don't think I can. Let me save. Oh, I can't save here. Oh, it's because I'm in the court record, that's why. It's nice to have the Yin-Hao Jasmine tea again. That's actually the very, very first tea that you redeemed, Tay. It's still wonderful. It's still the best Jasmine tea I've had so far. Surface of the bridge, huh? Ha, a real man wouldn't stand for a taunt like this. Neither would a real woman. Of course I can. Here is the evidence that proves the surface of the bridge was muddy. Oh yes, Stupid Fix, it's all thanks to him. Yes, it's a good choice. It's just I love the flavor of jasmine tea. Although the pearl one that's in Redeem that nobody's redeemed yet, you guys have unintentionally dodged a bullet. It is the worst jasmine pearl tea I've ever tasted, ever. It's just on the list in case people want to redeem it. I do have to go through it eventually, but it's just not that great. But thankfully, every other one has been redeemed other than that one. So everybody has really good taste. The surface of the bridge was muddy. Oh, do I just? I mean, I was thinking it can't be as simple as presenting the scarf, right? I mean, it's the only thing I can think of to present. The evidence is this scarf. Ah, it should be obvious. If the scarf fell onto the bridge and got this muddy, it means the bridge was obviously covered in mud. Ugh. No, I can't be outwitted by this novice bimbo. Oh my goodness. Hey, shame to you, buddy. Miss Faye's assertion makes perfect sense to me. I do admit that there appears to be a contradiction between the condition of the victim's coat and her scarf. However, the real question is, why is there a contradiction? Huh? For every contradiction, there exists an explanation. Let's look at what the explanation in this case may be, shall we? Yes, I can't believe it. All right, it's not like he's really giving me a choice here. You're doing pretty good for a little kid. Mr. Armando, no matter what he says, a contradiction always comes down to a lie. It's either the victim discovered in the trunk, the witness's photo showing the defendant and the victim, or the witness's testimony that stated she saw the moment of the murder. Just relax and think it over. It's pretty simple, isn't it? The false evidence? It's one of those three. What if it's all three? What if it's all wrong? Then I have no idea anymore. So, I technically, work is off Thursday and Friday. However, there is not one scheduled appointment on my calendar tomorrow. I don't know if they thought I took time off. I'm not going to correct them. But so, evidently, I'm having a bit of a longer weekend. So, looking forward to that. What you said just now, I'm not sure I like that. Thank you. That wasn't me, Your Honor. It was the coffee aficionado over here that said it. This court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Blame it on him, Your Honor. He's the one trying to slip false evidence into the court. But we won't let him. We'll expose his evidence as the flimsy scam it really is. Yes, the false evidence in this case is the... I mean, everything in my body wants to say it's the body in the trunk. We're obviously we're obviously trying to dispute that he did it, but I don't know if that's what they want. I don't think this is necessarily false. And the testimony would be based off of the picture anyway, so it makes very little sense to really nitpick at either one of those, since they're basically the same thing, right? Plus, the testimony was that it's foggy and you couldn't really make out what was going on, so I have no reason to contradict that. I'm gonna say it's the body. The victim really did try to repel her killer, and she did fall down on the bridge. Then you would expect her coat to be dirty. Therefore, the body that was found in the trunk of the car, it was not the body of Valerie Hawthorne. What do you have to say to that, Mr. Edgeworth? Objection. Not only a whisper, but he mixed in a sigh, too. Valerie Hawthorne was more than a simple meter maid. She was a sergeant. There's absolutely no chance that there was a mistake about her identity There's absolutely no chance that a mistake about her identity could be made. I guess he's right. From this point on, Miss Faye, I will penalize you for making unsubstantiated accusations. Oops. Don't do it, Mia. Don't cry until you get home. In any case, this court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know, so we'll get to go back to this. Okay. So that's correct. Apparently all the logic I was working with was false logic. I mean, it would be the testimony then, I suppose. I don't think we would say the picture's false. It is a no-brainer. Obviously, it's the witness that's suspicious. During his earlier testimony, the detective pointed out a crucial fact. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Now, is that testimony exactly what the witness claims to have seen? Yeah, that's what the witness told us. That testimony is filled with holes. After all, the victim's coat isn't dirty at all. That's true. Ha, it's not just true, it's the truth. If there was a truly decisive witness in this case, I'm certain that boy Wonder over there would have called him in the first place. Your Honor, the defense requests to cross-examine the eyewitness. The testimony presented so far is not only vague, but contradictory as well. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, it appears that we'll need to hear from your mystery witness after all. You should brace yourself for the brutal truth. Your Honor, the prosecution has no intention of hiding the witness from the court. Is it Diego? It wouldn't make sense for him. I don't think he would have told us, right? Is it him? Is it Edgeworth? Is it him? Or we are prepared to present our witness at any time. Very well. Please bring forth your witness at this time. What Mr. Edgeworth said kind of worries me. What does he mean by the brutal truth? Now, let's proceed with the testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, please go right ahead. Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution summons the woman who saw the events that day with her very own eyes. This is it, Mia. The battle begins here. It can't be the woman from the very first case of this game, can it? Probably is, considering they're being all coy about her identity. Witness, what is your name and occupation? Oh, yep, it was. Everyone is so silent that I can hear their hearts going pitter-patter. I mean, this had to be the only choice. Clearly they had a history of knowing each other, and we heard little vague hints in case one. Oh, when I look at you, how can I put it? You look as scrumptious as a double-double in a dozen donut holes. I feel like I want to hurry up and hand down a verdict just to have a bite. Hey, not so fast. As I said before, this witness is very sensitive and delicate. I would ask the court to please exercise care when addressing her. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. You are a true gentleman. Miss Fay, you could learn a lot from this man. If he's such a gentleman, he sure doesn't act like one to me. Yes, luckily he cares more about his verdict than about the wily charms. Sir. Yes, my dear? This is my first time, so I'm sure I'll make a lot of mistakes. Anyway, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for all the trouble I might cause. Not at all. It's no trouble at all. Now then, may we please have your name and occupation? My name is, Melissa Foster. I'm a college student, a freshman in the literature department. You were on the scene when the unfortunate events occurred, correct? And you were the one who took this photo? Is that accurate? Wow, how can you be so mean? Now see here, what you are doing shoving her in her face like that? Huh? But it's just a photograph. It's not like it's something dangerous. Next time we'll be forced to penalize you. Uh-oh, I don't like the turn this is taken. Is she staring at me? And you would be? Huh? I'm the defense lawyer. My name is Mia Fey. I see. So you are. Now then, young lady, could you please give us your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I'll do my best. So I'm wondering why Phoenix is hated based off of this history. I have no idea, at least for Armando. The witness's photograph. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Then I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly, they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. And right after that, I called the police. By the way, where were you standing? Yeah, I was about to wonder where on this map she was. I'm glad he's asking that. Where were you standing when the incident occurred? I believe the map would be of help here. Yeah, I knew it. That's the contradiction. You can't be there. You can't take the photo from that blocking spot. I was standing right over here. I was standing in a beautiful field surrounded by tall cliffs. So you took the photo from that location, eh? I brought the camera I was using at the time, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me to. Oh, what a cute camera, just like its owner. Camera added to the court record. All right then, Miss Fay, time for your cross-examination. But I warn you, make the witness cry again and you'll feel the wrath of my gavel. The witness's photograph. I don't know how much pressing I can do here. Let's take a look at our profile, please. Melissa Foster, age 19, a college student, witnessed the photo and photographed the incident on Dusky Bridge. Let's take a look at her camera, please. Let's Foster took the witness's photo with this, a small but powerful model. Did you say wildflowers? Yes, the mountain is famous for its beautiful spring wildflowers. But it's only February. Well, I couldn't wait for spring to come. Oh, I know just how you feel. It's just like when I first started growing this glorious beard of mine. I just couldn't wait, so I wore a dye blonde hand Santa beard until mine grew in properly. Would you mind if we got back to the facts of this case, Your Honor? Then I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. The only thing that is suspended is my disbelief in your testimony. Was there anything strange about the two of them? I'm a bad girl. I know I am. It looked like they were having a really serious conversation up there. So I decided to watch them, like some kind of peeping Tom. Oh, no, not at all. Everyone is like that. I love watching other people fight too. In fact, I can't get enough of it. Actually, that's why I took this job in the first place. Too much info, Your Honor. In any case, it's perfectly natural for you to have kept watching them, especially dressed as they were. Well, anyway, I was watching them very closely. Suddenly, they just started fighting. Do you have any idea what they were fighting about? Eh? No, I have no idea. Why do you ask that? Oh, I just thought that maybe you overheard what they said. Oh no. We're gonna get gavelled. I would never eavesdrop. I've got more class than that. That's right, Miss Fay. Don't drag the witness down to your level. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. We have to probably present on that. Why did you take a photo? Well, the two of them were really going at it. Ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted to be a news reporter. I guess that part of me just kind of took over. Smells like a lie to me. Yes, I understand completely. Even now, I can't completely abandon my boyhood dreams. I still use my grandson to test my comedy routines on. So you wanted to be a comedian, huh? Not that it has any bearing on this. All I could do was to use my camera. So I took the photo of the crucial moment and gave it to the police. And right after that, I called the police. You called the police? Yes, because it looked to me like the murderer was going to try to escape. We were already moving before the call even came in. Thanks to the victim's note, we had already started our operation. That was certainly tough luck for the criminal, eh? If Terry Falls isn't the criminal, then there must be something strange in that girl's testimony. Be careful, kid. That girl has the judge wrapped right around her little finger. You're going to have a tough time poking holes in that testimony of hers. You're going to have to come up with something really good, Mia. All right. Let's do it. Present. We need to present the map. Oh, no, we don't have to present the map. Here to take this penalty and try thinking things through again. What's the problem? Pointer fingers are made for pointing. Okay. Odd that it's not that. How she would be able to take a picture from that spot. Am I supposed to do the same thing here? Isn't a contradiction. How can it not be? If she stood in exactly that spot, she shouldn't have been able to see any of them. I guess if she stood a little bit south of that spot, that would be fine. Okay, so it's not the contradiction. Well, now I have to think about other evidence now. There are two people standing up on the suspension bridge. They started fighting. Hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. Witness? When you said you took a photo of the crucial moment, is this what you meant? All I can see in this photo are two people facing each other. You testified that you saw the two of them starting to fight. Normally that's the kind of thing we would refer to as the crucial moment. Why haven't you presented a photo like that? Oh really? That's it? Well, you see, the photo we presented was the only one there was. But if you really wanted to capture the crucial moment, then what happened next? You must have taken a photo of it. My apologies, young lady. But Miss Faye's assertion is not without a certain amount of merit. He can certainly downplay a situation, can he? I'm sorry. I'm a very bad girl. I used it all up. The film, I mean. You ran out of film? This photo was the last one. What? Unfortunately, that is the truth. I personally examined all of the photographs she took that day. All the other photos are of the witness herself playing among the wildflowers. The witness herself? Then who took the photos? Well, you see, my camera has a timer feature built into it. So you took photos of yourself? I remember taking some photos of myself once too. Please, no details. It seems that Miss Faye's assertion was not so decisive after all. Wait, just a minute. Well, if she had no film left, she couldn't very well take more pictures, eh? Miss Foster, perhaps then you could tell us about a different sort of photo. Photos of the incident that you took with your very own eyes. Mr. Edgeworth, you're quite the poet. Very well then, let's get back to the cross-examination. Let's hear your thoughts on the fight that you witnessed. Yes, Mr. Judge. Boy, this guy is really a sucker for sweet talk. Ha. It looks like the other kitten in the room is the one that's getting all the attention. Yeah, it's sickening. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. I will press on that in a moment or read all of this, but I want to get some more hot water for my tea. I'm just going to pour that. Thank you for the hydrate. Well, probably after this bit of testimony and cross-examination, I'll take my first formal break to get up and stretch and do everything else. So I just lucked out by happening to present that photo. I was still kind of concerned about the positioning of the characters, but I guess it was more like I should have been focusing on the fact that it was the decisive moment. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. They just started fighting. The victim turned around and tried to run away. She only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. If Cherry Falls isn't the criminal, then there must be something strange in that girl's testimony. Oh, now my observation is it. Because oh, come on, bring it up, guard, bring it up. The 5-yard, scale that's gonna be over here, yes, now she would no longer be able to see him. Even if we were gonna somehow assume for purposes of whatever, she was able to see them here, she would not have been able to capture the decisive moment. Now I can use this. Just saying. Be careful, kitten. That girl has the judge wrapped around her. Okay, same dialogue as before. Okay, so I'm gonna press on it anyway, just in case it's one of those things where you have to press to get the info. Tried to turn around and run away. The victim. Why do you think she tried to run away? With her police training, she certainly knew better than to turn her back on a criminal. This was a large, powerful man with a knife. If it had been a quaggy woman like you, I'm sure she would have acted differently. Whoa. Quaggy? Why, if it had been me, I probably would have jumped in the river. There's still something wrong with this testimony. She only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. So you're saying Sergeant Hawthorne wasn't able to get away from him? Well, it's a narrow bridge that was swaying back and forth. If you ask me, both of them were in danger of falling off. I only wish I could have done something to help her. That seems to make sense. I wonder about that. Something seems kind of off. Ha, you have a good sixth sense. When you feel that something's off, that's when you need to figure out why. If Cherry Falls isn't the criminal... Okay, so now it's going to wrap around to this. Let's go ahead and present the map on the 10-yard statement. Wrong one. Wrong one. Still wrong. Witness, your testimony is a joke. Huh? What? But I just... Miss Fay, I thought I warned you not to make the witness cry. One short testimony and 2 bad contradictions. There's no possible excuse. You say there were 2 contradictions? It's simple. Just take a look at the diagram of the area. According to her testimony, the 2 of them were in the middle of the bridge. But if they were, and the victim had turned around and tried to run, well then, she would have hit a dead end. You said 10 yards, but she couldn't have ran even 5. Because Dusky Bridge has collapsed on that side. Why? What does this all mean? It's very simple, Your Honor. The charming little witness told a charming little lie. That's all there is to it. This beautiful young lady has been lying to the court? Just a moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor, allow me to personally apologize for the confusion. What do you mean? There's one major mistake in this diagram. What did you say? What are you referring to? Oh, he's gonna say the placement of the victim and the other person are wrong? Or what is he gonna do? It's all because this diagram was made after the incident occurred. It's a very old bridge. We couldn't find any official blueprints of it. So you're saying? I'm saying that even though this bridge is currently in disrepair, there's no evidence that can prove that the bridge was broken during the incident. That's ridiculous! You can't actually tell the condition of the bridge from this photo. I apologize to the court for not being more clear when I presented the evidence. How do I fight that off? This guy is good. Huh? What do you mean? He planned it from the beginning. He's a genius, all right. That diagram of the bridge was his insurance policy. What? That coward! Well, Miss Fay, it seems you've once again made a reckless accusation. I'm so sorry. I should have been more careful myself. No, 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 no. It wasn't your fault at all. Now then, shall we go on with the trial? I'd like to establish once and for all what it was that the witness actually saw. Indeed. All right, young lady. May I ask you to please proceed with your testimony? But it's so hard to go on. We're all on your side, Miss Foster. There's no need to worry. Just tell us what you saw. Yes, sir. And now running from the crime. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. One moment. I just wanted the cross-examination music to play rather than just silence. I am going to quickly take a short break. Everybody hydrate, and I shall return shortly. I want to have some non-tea water refilled here, so I shall be right back. All right. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. Witnessing such violence must have been difficult. Yes, sir. I'm still shaken up. Boy, I am struggling to produce the map at will. Yeah, like, again, when do I use the evidence of the map not being visible? It's like, oh my gosh, I keep thinking that's it, and I guess this is probably going to be it. I'm still shaken up. If he accepts this testimony as it is, we're finished. Don't say that. Oh well. Maybe I'll stop off at my favorite cafe on the way home. They make a really great mocha latte. The trial isn't over yet. Ha, that's what I like to hear. All right, Miss Fay, your cross-examination, if you please. The contradiction is staring you right in the face, Mia. Go on the attack. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Are you saying that the victim didn't fall down on the bridge? Actually, maybe she did fall. Of course she didn't fall down on the bridge. If she had fallen down, this photo wouldn't make any sense. If that was the case, her coat would have been all muddy. If you don't mind, I was asking the witness. No need to be so rude. Well, young lady? Of course she didn't fall down. The man in the prison uniform grabbed her before she could. Ha! We were one step too slow. And then what did the defendant do after that? Carried her over to the car. You personally witnessed that? Yes. Did anything strange happen when he did that? Well, I don't know if you'd call it strange or not, but that's when the victim's scarf fell off. You mean this scarf? Her words match what we found at the scene. I don't see any problem. I suppose that was the only way you could make sure the body stayed hidden. You mean the defendant carried the body all by himself? Yes. Considering the size of the defendant, I don't think it would be too difficult. Yes, but let's remember they were on a narrow bridge that was ready to collapse. Is it even possible for him to have carried a dead body on a bridge like that? Well, the fact of the matter is that he did. That kind of talk is just silly. Wow, why did he get so emotional all of a sudden? Miss Faye, if you think there's some other possibility, please share it with the rest of us. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Why do you say that? It's already a broken down bridge hidden away in the mountains. Doing anything more to hide the corpse would be going overboard, wouldn't it? Yes, but that mountain is famous among hikers. A surprising number of people go up there. But it's February, right? And it was raining that day, correct? There is also a small temple and a channeling dojo there. You know those monks. They just love cold, isolated places. I think the witness is trying to say that the corpse could have been found at any time. Besides, the witness is merely reporting what she witnessed with her own eyes. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. And you're absolutely certain that it was my client who was carrying the body? Well, he was wearing a prisoner's uniform, but as for his face... So you're saying you didn't get a clear look at his face? Well, they were far away and it was raining as well. I thought I was only supposed to say exactly what I saw. Excellent! You're a remarkably honest young woman. Something about this testimony is bothering me, but what? Hey, kid. Have you ever put salt in your coffee? No, why would I? Why not? Huh? It may actually go better with coffee than sugar, right? Listen, my point is that if you're not sure, you might as well add a ton of salt to it. It might bring out the rust in something like a piece of evidence. He's right, Mia. Go present something. You've got nothing to lose. We actually do have stuff to lose, though. Penalties and all. By the way, I wouldn't put salt in my coffee. The two don't go well together after all. I'm imagining... Eventually, eventually, I'm going to be correct in presenting this piece of evidence. Statistically, it has to be correct one of these times. But you couldn't see the car from the map. How about that? Okay, how about no? Apparently you can, for some reason. I don't understand. This is the first time handling a case. Well, let's make it a little bit more of a memorable occasion. Pretty savage judge. Correct but the wrong statement. But what else? why that's not the right statement. A killer not wanting his victim to be found? I can understand that. However, the idea of moving the body for that purpose is clearly odd. There was a much easier way to make sure the body wasn't found. Well, what is it? Take another look. Oh, he just said, like, oh, she's like wondering, why didn't you just throw the victim overboard? Okay, I suppose that's fair. But, like, the evidence is never going to be for the purpose I'm wanting it to be for. I guess I'm just going to have to accept that. It's like it's never, it's like it's so frustrating. It's just never going to be for that purpose. There's a river right below the bridge. Earlier, Mr. Edgeworth pointed out something interesting about the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. Ah, in the kidnapping case 5 years ago, the victim's body was carried away and never found. Yes, I know. It's like, exactly. That's exactly why I kept trying to present it every other time, and it's just like always wrong. If 10 murders were to occur at the same spot above Eagle River, you can bet your boots that every other killer would have tossed the body in the water. Order, order, order. I'm not sure if I care for the way you put that, Miss Fay, but I must admit it does seem odd to have not thrown the body into the river. Ooh. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? How sad. Perhaps Miss Fay would do well to try to take a dip in the river herself. After all, you claim to be such an expert in the ways of nature. What are you talking about? My point is that no matter how odd you may find the killer's method of body disposal, the fact is that this is what the killer did. None of your arguments have anything to do with what the witness saw. Quite true. Miss Fay, it seems that your assertion is without merit after all. But what the witness claims to have seen is totally ridiculous. Surely you can't deny that the body was found in the trunk of the car. That's certainly consistent with what the witness has told us. Please, witness, go on with your testimony. I'll try. All you have to do is tell us only what you saw. Otherwise, the mean lady might yell at you again. Who is he talking about? All right, I'll do my best. All right, we're at the... I can tell the music is ramping up to, like, the final stretch of cross-examination. After he stabbed her in the back, he could... Okay, so this is... Carried her over to the car, broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body there. Interesting that you know that. Can I finally do what I want to do? Please? What did the man do then? Well, naturally he got in the car and was about to flee. That's when I came to my senses. I said to myself, you have to call the police. And so that's when you called the police? You're sure that's when you sure that you saw all that with your own eyes? Yes, I'm 100% certain. He couldn't just leave the body on top of... Okay, so... Yeah, let's go. Very interesting. Does this look familiar? Because I presented it 4 times prior. Well, Miss Foster, it looks like you've done it this time. And the other 3, but I guess this is the one time that matters. Done what? Made a crucial mistake. A crucial mistake? Like what, Miss Fay? The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body there? You're saying you saw that, right? With your very own eyes? Yes, and? It's simple, Miss Foster. Take a look at the diagram. The place you claim to have taken the photo from that day is here. Do you see what I mean? Even if you tried to see the car, this outcropping of rock is directly in the way. Ah! That's right, Miss Foster. From where you were standing, you could not have possibly seen the killer's car. Ah! I admit that the diagram shows a large outcropping of rock, but there's no way of knowing that outcropping of rock was there the day of the murder. Do you have any evidence to show that rocks existed? However, it isn't so tall that would stop her from seeing the car. That's right. It's not high at all. I was able to see his car just fine. I'm so sorry, but that just doesn't wash. Because it's the, because of the, photo here, right? No, wrong one. I keep picking the wrong photo, it's so hard. See that? That little wall over there on the side. It shows it's too high. I believe it was the witness who presented this as evidence to the court, yes? This is the location that the photo was taken from. Your own photo tells the whole story. You can clearly see the left side of this bridge, but the outcropping that is being referred to is really more like a cliff. Ah! Your view should have been completely cut off by this cliff, but you still claim to have been able to see the killer's car. No! Order! Order in the court! What is the meaning of all this ballyhoo? Your Honor, don't jump to any hasty conclusions. The fact that the escapee fled in a stolen car was reported on the news. After witnessing a murder, I'm sure you can appreciate that the witness was very upset. She must have heard about the stolen car and convinced herself that she saw it. But she was repeatedly warned before starting her testimony. She was told to testify only about what she saw with her very own eyes. Oh. Mr. Judge? What is it? I think I must have remembered things wrong. Hey, wait a minute. You can't just say that. Miss Faye, no one on the face of the planet is perfect. Yes, indeed. Quite true. You know what they say. To err is human, to forgive divine. I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to our witness here. What? That's not fair. Ha! Save the tears for later, kitten. Mr. Armando, don't look back until the trial is over. Now's the time to go forward. But that wasn't fair. Okay, kitten, you need to relax. Then you need to remember. The other kitten's testimony. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. So tell us, how did you know that? How did you know that he broke into the trunk? Until you can explain how you knew that, you're going to have a lot of very suspicious people on this side of the courtroom. Well, witness? Well, I'm certain that he broke into the trunk because there were marks left on the trunk lid. I'm certain they were scratch marks from when he broke into it. What? Let me see that photo. It's true. These certainly look like scratch marks. Oh, above the key, kind of, sort of. I thought that was like a leaf design. I guess that those are meant to be scratches. Okay, around the keyhole, yes. It's obvious that the trunk has been broken open. Well, Miss Faye, are you satisfied? This judge is on her side. I can't make any mistakes here. I am completely content. Very satisfied. Thank you for the hydrate. What she just said. Is there a contradiction in there somewhere? So she was not the one who took the photo because we established that her film ran out. So that was someone else who took the crime photo later. Yeah, I mean, there is a contradiction. The claim here is that the defendant stole this car before they arrived here. So he presumably would have had the key on him. He shouldn't have had to break into it later. If that makes any sense. It's not really a contradiction from what she said, it's a contradiction with the evidence itself. I'm gonna go ahead and say it doesn't work. Melissa Foster, it looks like you finally betrayed yourself. What? You said you were in a field taking photos of wildflowers, but even so, you knew about the scratches. The question is when? When did you get a chance to see those scratches? Finally. I finally got her. Ha! I'm getting pretty tired of waiting over here. Then perhaps it would be faster if Miss Fay explained herself. Your Honor, there's only one possible explanation. The reason the witness had seen the scratches was... She put the corpse in her... I mean, we have to say that. She happened to be passing by. Yep. She's one of the monks. Didn't know if you knew that. Put the corpse in herself, owner of a lonely car. No, we're gonna say put the corpse. There's only one way that the witness had the chance to see those scratches. Yes. What is it? Naturally, when she opened the trunk and stuffed the corpse in herself. The person who really hid the body in the trunk of that car was Melissa Foster. It was you that did it, wasn't it? That's ridiculous. I could never. It was the man in the prison garb. He's the one that... I don't think so, Miss Foster. If Mr. Falls had been the one that put the corpse in the trunk, he would have had the key to it. Just say it. He would have simply used this car key. There was no need to break it open. But he stole the car. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light, which means that the key would have still been in the ignition. Unless, no, Edgeworth is going to be like, no, I actually have proof that that couple stole the car, so they didn't actually have the key, and so, yeah, take that. Thank you for telling us about the scratches, Miss Foster. Without that, we never would have uncovered the truth. It couldn't have been Mr. Falls that put the body in the trunk. No! Preposterous! To even suggest that the witness put the body in there. If that were true, then how do you explain the photo that she took? The corpse could only have been put in the trunk when the incident occurred. And we already know that at the time, she was taking photographs. Easy. The time function of her car, of the camera, remember? It has an automatic timer function. I like the way this is coming together. I think I'm happy that I finally got to use the stupid picture of the cliff to actually make it work. Yes. Was the car there at the time, or was the defendant simply going vroom vroom and making noises? Now is your chance, Mia. Finish this thing. On the contrary, I'm not so certain about that anymore, Mr. Edgeworth. There's no need to think too deeply about it. What I'm saying is the shutter for this may not have been pushed by Miss Foster herself. I don't think you can make a mistake about it. Take a look at her camera. It has a timer built into it, even a mini tripod. Almost as if the camera was bought just to take this picture. What are you trying to say then, Miss Fay? That when the crime occurred, Miss Foster wasn't in the field as she claimed? Well, if she really did use the camera's auto timer, then the answer is yes, she was somewhere else. Exactly. She was not in the field. She was the person on the bridge. I think is what we're gonna have to say. Which is starting to make a whole lot more sense. I was trying to think like how she could be positioned like on the sides and everything else, but no, she's probably right there on the bridge. Would the defense please explain further? Listen, this is a crucial point. Where was Miss Foster when the incident occurred? In answering that question will also make clear Miss Foster's true identity. Well then, please answer this question. Where was Melissa Foster when this incident on the bridge occurred? Oh, this is gonna be fun. Right here. Naturally, the witness was right here. But that's where the victim, Miss Hawthorne, was standing. Order, order, order. Miss Fay, what on earth? Your Honor, if I may. After parting with the victim on the bridge, the defendant fled by car. But this would mean that there was no time to put the victim in the trunk. In other words, if someone put the body in the trunk, it could only have been before the defendant met the victim. How asinine! Of course Miss Falls met with the victim, Mr. Falls. The only person with the opportunity to have put the victim in the trunk is the same man that killed her, Terry Falls. You still don't understand, do you, Mr. Edgeworth? It was just like zipping off. By the time the witness photo was taken, the victim was already dead. The person in the photo was not Valerie Hawthorne. What? I've never heard anything more ridiculous in my entire life. Then who exactly is the victim in this photo? It's obvious, isn't it? It's your own witness. What? It's like Sheila Brokowski from South Park. It's the only possible explanation. The woman that Mr. Falls met on the bridge that day was not Valerie Hawthorne. It was you, Melissa Foster. Me? Let's remember that it was raining and foggy on the mountain that day. Mr. Falls himself believed that the woman in front of him was Valerie Hawthorne. But the defendant knew Valerie Hawthorne very well. After all, she was the woman whose testimony helped get him convicted. But since then, my client has spent 5 hard years in a federal penitentiary. He couldn't remember exactly what she looked like anymore. You're just making this up as you go. Where's your proof? I've got it all right here. This piece of evidence will blow this case wide open. This? Is this the one? Or is it something else? In any event, let us save just in case. At the time of the incident, Mr. Falls had forgotten what Valerie Hawthorne, excuse me. Mr. Falls had forgotten the victim's face. That's why he needed some piece of identification, namely this muddy scarf. It was Mr. Falls who requested that she wear the scarf to identify herself. That's already been proved by the note the victim left. In other words, as long as you were wearing a scarf like he asked, anyone could have pretended to be Valerie Hawthorne. Well, what do you have to say to that, Melissa Foster? No! Oh, she fainted dead. Oh my goodness. Where's Miss Foster? She's collecting herself in the lobby. It's obvious that Melissa Foster did it. She hid the body in the trunk and disguised herself as the victim. There's still too much that this case has to do, given what we know about Case 1 of this game, to kind of set the stage for everything. So there's got to be a lot more that happens than just this. I just don't know what that something is. She set up the camera to snap a fake photo of them together. The only question is, why did she do it? Well, isn't that obvious? She's the true criminal. Ha. Well, we'll have to wait for Miss Foster to compose herself before we start again. Until then, this court is in recess. The defense and the prosecution are instructed to wait in the lobby. Yes, Your Honor. Understood. Very well. The court is in recess. To be continued. We made it to at least the first stretch. I can't believe that was just the first stretch. That was a long first stretch. But pretty engaging. February 16th, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 4. Mr. Falls, oh god, eek, I'm sorry, I want to say thanks, you're real good, you really hooked me up. Thanks, we're almost there. Once I prove that she committed the crime... Yeah, but there's one more big obstacle we've got to get past. Obstacle? Yeah, motive. Why would Melissa Foster kill that policewoman anyway? Motive, huh? Anyway, we're still badly in need of information. Her name was Dahlia, right? In the beginning, or am I just having a false memory based off of the victim's note? Because for some reason, I remember her having a different name, but I could just be wrong. Yeah, that's definitely going to help. And plus, as long as I still... I mean, that 3-hour nap should help me out here. But, you know, and the fact that I don't have work tomorrow is going to help out tremendously. But we'll see. We'll do the very best we can. Anyway, we're still badly in need of information. Information? Right. What we need the most is info about this Melissa Foster herself. All we know is that she's a student studying literature. And one more thing. What is it? Well, the incident that happened 5 years ago, of course. The kidnapping murder case that Zebra Boy is on death row for. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lied. Mr. Falls, in that case, tell us more about it. About what happened 5 years ago. Okay, I trust you. That day, 5 years ago, I dream of it. Every day. This picture, it reminds me everything. I don't know if that works, but fine. It reminds you everything. Go on. Bridge looks same. Oh, okay. He's talking like this on purpose. Bridge looks same, just like then, 5 years ago. Like it could fall apart. Fall apart any minute. So it's been broken like that for at least 5 years. Ha. Sorry, buddy, but you sound like the one that could fall apart any minute. It's true. I did kidnap her 5 years ago. I kidnapped my girlfriend, Dahlia Hawthorne. Girlfriend? Huh? Yeah, I just now gathered that a little bit later. It's my own fault for not putting it together. It's just that he's had so little opportunities for longer dialogue, I just hadn't noticed it yet. Hey, hold on there. Did you say Hawthorne? The victim's last name. Dahlia Hawthorne. Valerie's little sister. What? Are you serious? The girl. Let her go. Shut up. Come closer, and I kill her. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. The detective back then was Valerie Hawthorne. At first I thought shooting someone for a kidnapping was crossing the line, but if it was to protect her little sister, I can understand why she did it. Wrong. No protect sister. Valerie betrayed me. Betray us. What do you mean she betrayed you? Everything. All lies. All make-believe. Kidnapping too. A make-believe kidnapping? Dahlia. My girlfriend. My love. My teen angel. Did he actually say my teen angel? He's seen one too many soap operas. I do anything she says. Anything Dahlia says. Anything Dahlia says? Hold on a minute. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by... Yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie too. Valerie was in on it? Dahlia's family rich. Jewelry business. We get 1 jewel. That's what we thought. Me and Dahlia wrote kidnap note. We sent to her dad. Asked for $2 million diamond. Tell him make exchange on Dusky Bridge. We tell him Valerie make transfer cause she knew detective. Having a police detective in your pocket is a useful thing, all right. In the end, you were planning on splitting the $2 million 3 ways, huh? Yeah, but that woman... That woman, Valerie, she do it for real. She shoot at me for real. Me and Dahlia. I was shot in arm. Dahlia, she jump in river. Jump? You don't mean she jumped on purpose, do you? I couldn't do it. I could never push her. Anyway, I blacked out. Wake up with police all over. And that's when they decided to give you the death sentence. I couldn't believe it. That woman, she betrayed me. That man, Terry Falls, he killed her. He threw her off the bridge. He threw my beloved sister into the roaring river, 40 feet below. These 5 years, all I wonder is why? Why did she lie? That's all I want to know. So that's why you called her. You wanted to hear the truth from Valerie herself. Yes, but I forget what she looked like, so I tell her to wear a scarf. I don't want to hurt her. Just ask why. Why did you lie? Why did you betray me? I just wanted to hear answer come from her mouth. That's all. So that's why you made a crazy escape like that. Just one thing, zebra boy. My senses are tingling all over. Tell me, Mr. Falls, where is it? Huh? Where's what? Come on now, kitten. The ransom. The $2 million diamond. Remember that now? Did you give it back to Pops? Did the police take it? I don't know. Huh? You don't know? No, really, I don't know. It's gone. With Dahlia. With Dahlia? That day, on the bridge, Dahlia put it in backpack. Now gone, with Dahlia, gone forever, into Eagle River. It makes sense that they're going on this very, very long explanation if there's not going to be a separate investigation phase. And I would ordinarily be like, this is a little bit too long of an explanation, but it works, considering this is probably going to be a one and done. Let me refill my water in my mug. I'll be right back. There we go. It's Eagle River. It disappeared with Dahlia, huh? Wait a minute. You can come back in now. We're about ready to go. The bailiff is like the star of this game. This like showing up in like every case now. It's pretty crazy. Mr. Falls, just one more question. When you said with Dahlia, do you mean the diamond is still missing? Along with the body of Dahlia Hawthorne? Never found her, my sweet Dahlia. They never found her? Swallowed by river. Gone. Dahlia, my teen angel. Your teen angel? How old was she anyway? Just 14. 14? I guess you were robbing cradles before diamonds. She plans a fake kidnapping and disappears into the river with a rock worth $2 million. Man, oh man, angels these days. 14 at the time of the incident 5 years ago, which would make her 19 years of age currently. Coincidence? Maybe. Probably not, though. Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, I see what you're doing, hiding the face. Age deceased, gender female, Valerie's younger sis. Victim of the kidnap murder. Fell from bridge, no body found. Falls takes the fall and gets a one-way ticket to death row. Is Dahlia Hawthorne an angel? Or is she really a doll? That's just gonna be, I'm sure. It's time, kid. It looks like we have a few more aces up our sleeve now. You bet. Diamond added to the court record, I wish. The trading wheels come off now, Mia. You gotta strike while the iron is hot. That's one of my rules. Remember it. I thought it was strike while the coffee was hot with you, but no. I'm sure that's one of your sayings, too. February 16th, District Court, Courtroom number 4. Now then, let's continue with the trial of Mr. Cherry Falls. Witness, are you feeling better? Yes, Your Honor. Yes, very true. Whoa. What manner of insect are you? Hopping around. Are you a moth? I think it's a moth. Okay, I was about to say it's hopping like a cricket, but I have no idea how they'd get into this room. Okay. He used 20 when dated her. Not okay. Definitely not okay with me. Yes, Your Honor. I'll try my best. You're a brave young lady. Not this again. I can understand a defense lawyer wanting to get her client off the hook. However, to try to pin the crime on an innocent student is... Yeah, they're bugging out. Very true. What are you talking about? Yeah, I think the real explanation is that we have Melissa Foster's moths in this room, and they're just hanging around the courtroom. It's actually like we're doing this in 4D now. It's pretty nuts. Anyway, it's on the ceiling right now trying to attack the light. She's an innocent bystander who witnessed a violent crime, that's all. What possible reason would a girl like this have for murdering a policewoman? It's certainly hard to imagine this woman as a murderer. Her motive, huh? I figured that's what I had to establish next. Well, Miss Faye, do you have any evidence of a motive? Yes, of course. I think. Ha! You're still acting as tame as a kitten. Mr. Armando, listen. A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Smiling on the outside while your guts are twisted in knots is the mark of a pro. Maybe so, but I wish you would quit grinning at me like that. Excuse me, may I speak, Mr. Judge? Of course. Mr. Judge is ready anytime you like. I'd like to say something. Some people here are suspicious of me, right? That's why. I at least wanted you, Mr. Judge, to know that it's not true. I see. You're such an honest and upstanding young lady. Looks like this witness is a real professional. What do you mean? Look at that 100-watt smile. Just when things are darkest for her, click, she lights right up. Very well then, let's hear what the witness has to say. Mr. Foster's history. I was out of the country until the year before last. Until I entered college, I'd never even been to Eagle Mountain before. They certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Holding a grudge and killing that officer who testified against you 5 years ago. Or kidnapping a poor girl. I just think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster. Out of the country, eh? I guess I can look past the fact that she has knowledge of that information. I guess it would be common knowledge to know that stuff. I don't know if she said anything that she shouldn't otherwise know yet. Out of the country, eh? Precisely. Furthermore, she has no possible motive for committing murder. Indeed. You're up to bat, kitten. Sharpen those claws and put on your best smile. You bet. Somehow, I have to tie her to this case. Her history? So, was out of the country until the year before last. So, what country are you living in then? We were all living abroad, but after my parents were killed... It was a brutal civil war. She had to try to make her way back home alone. I lost everything. I didn't even have any personal identification. What kind of sob story is this? What do I do? Should I press her for details? Yes. Make her cry. Witness, answer my question. I'll even repeat it for you. What country were you in? Your Honor, this line of questioning is childish. What country she was in and how many languages she may speak are irrelevant here. What we're here to evaluate is whether this witness has any connection to this case. I've lived abroad ever since I was a little girl. That's why I could never have known Mr. Falls or Detective Hawthorne. Yes, I think we've established that point. Yes, indeed. Well then, shall we add what you've just stated to the official testimony? Yes, please, Mr. Judge. You didn't know either person. Are you certain of that? Yes, I'm afraid I'm rather shy around people. Oh well, that can't be helped. Why is he just agreeing with everything that comes out of her mouth? The first time you saw either of them was when they were on the bridge, correct? Yes, it really was a coincidence. Until I entered college, I'd never even been to Eagle Mountain before. So what made you decide to go to Eagle Mountain anyway? I just love being outdoors. Picnics, hiking, you know, that sort of thing. You don't look like much of a hiker to me, but you do look like a digger of sorts. But Eagle Mountain is a 2-hour drive from here, and no trains runs through there. There are plenty of mountains that are closer and easier to get to. Well, I went there once with the college hiking club. I fell in love with its stark, desolate beauty and its cold, yet romantic gloominess. Didn't know you were such a goth. By the way, what's the name of your college?
Objection!
The prosecution objects to any questions that involve the witness's private life. All that matters is that she is a material witness to a crime. The witness doesn't need to respond to questions that are clearly malicious in intent. Thank you, she's really gone too far. Miss Fay, you're treading on thin ice here. I hardly said anything. Talk about sensitive. And I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt any police officer. So are we to assume that she found out later that he was a police officer, or is that the contradiction? Perhaps, but your behavior that day was very suspicious. Not only have you contradicted yourself here in court, but you know things you shouldn't. For example, the scratches on the trunk of the car. Well, that's...
Objection!
Unfortunately, Miss Fay, your last statement proves nothing. Oh, really? And why is that? The witness came to the police station once to identify the suspect. It's entirely possible that, at that time, an officer showed her this photo. That seems like a rather serious mistake. Ha, that's the oldest trick in the prosecutor's book. That's not fair. That wicked inmate. I'll never be able to forget that horrible day. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago. I mean, that's a little too specific to know, right? A grudge? Well, the policewoman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death. Yes, and that's precisely why he harbored such deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt. My client has always maintained that he's innocent of those charges. He seems rather forgetful. Your client, I mean. Not only did he forget about what he did, but he forgot the poor policewoman as well. What do you mean by that? Your client. He forgot what the detective looked like, right? It's too bad for her that he didn't forget about her testimony as well. Well, she's right about that. Mr. Falls is kind of forgetful. Press harder. You said he forgot what the detective looked like. What did you mean by that? Well, he couldn't tell who she was without some kind of identification, right? Quite right. That's why the victim was wearing a scarf as identification. Why, if I had been wearing a white scarf that day, then he probably would have tried to kill me. That's true, he's clearly a bitter man. This is bad. Mr. Falls' reputation just keeps getting worse and worse. Sometimes it's best not to poke too deep. What should I do with that last statement? Have it added. Your Honor, what the witness said just now was tremendously important. I'd like to have it added to the official testimony. The prosecution has no objection. After all, the defendant is a killer and a mentally unbalanced one at that. That testimony only helps to further prove that point. No, that's not why I... Enough. Witness, if you would. My pleasure, Mr. Judge. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf. That's where you done screwed up. I'm gonna press it, but then I'm gonna present the memo. What do you mean by lucky? Well, it's February now. Everyone is wearing scarves. If I had accidentally worn a white scarf like he said, then you yourself might have been killed. That would have been a terrible loss for this world. It looks like you pressed too hard this time, kitten. Mr. Armando, keep looking around you and you're going to lose sight of the finish line. Justice is blind, but she's not deaf. Sometimes you have to know when not to talk. Terrible, horrible monster. You knew about that incident? But weren't you out of the country until the year before last? Well, I saw a report about the escaped convict on the news. They had an in-depth report about his whole history. So you were still living abroad 5 years ago, is that right? Yes. I can't let her get away with these lies. Listen to me, she's neck deep in this whole thing. Somehow you're just going to have to get her to show the court her true self. Alright. It's true, Mr. Falls did give instructions to Valerie Hawthorne about their meeting. The note that she left said, wear white scarf for identification. Yes, what about it? Pardon me. Isn't it obvious? Doesn't it strike you as odd? That note was a secret piece of evidence. How is it that the witness knows about it? Ah, order. It is odd, isn't it? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, did you show top secret evidence to the witness? Your Honor, I certainly never gave anyone permission to do such a thing. In that case, the only way the witness could know about the notes would be... Just a moment. Of course I didn't know about the note. It's just, I saw it when it happened, with my own eyes. When the victim went to see the killer, she used her own scarf to signal him. That's why I assumed that the signal was a white scarf. I suppose that makes sense. Come on, Mia. You can't let her weasel out of it that easy. Witness, sorry, but your explanation isn't going to work here. But why? It's true. That's what I saw. Impossible. There's no way you could have seen the victim use a white scarf to signal him. Is it because the photo is in black and white? Is it because the weather? Is it because it was on the ground? I'm gonna lose half my health if I get this wrong, but like... What on earth? Is it, because she's wearing it? Is that the problem? There's so many things I could point to. The fact that she's wearing it in this photo. The fact that she was so far away. Although I guess that I don't really think that's a very strong piece of evidence. The fact that her photo is in black and white. But I think all roads lead back to the photo. Here's the definitive piece of evidence that proves it. Well, I screwed up. That's your definitive piece of evidence? Yes, if my thinking is correct. Well then, we have one mystery solved. The answer is simple. Mrs. Faye's thinking is wrong. That's all there is to it. Huh? Please, kitten. You've got to do something. You're killing me over here. Miss Faye, I've got a definitive penalty to reward you for your definitive piece of evidence. Well, I'm going to have to save because one more of those and I'm done. It's not the photo. And the fact that she was wearing it. Well, that wasn't what I was expecting. Well, do you finally believe me? Come on, Mia. You're running out of time. Witness, your explanation's not going to work here. No way could have seen the victim use a white scarf to signal him. It's probably something obvious that I'm not quite comprehending here. It's not the photo, I have no idea what it could be. I'm just gonna have to present the scarf. You've said several times in your testimony that the victim was wearing a scarf. A white scarf, correct? Yes. Is something wrong? It was the photo. That's what I'd like to know, Miss Foster. Have a look at this. It's the victim's... Oh, that's right. It's not quite white. Right. They did gloss over that, didn't they? That it wasn't quite a white scarf. I mean, I guess that's true. I just forgot. They said it was white enough earlier on. Ah, I'm sure people would disagree about what to call this color. However, it certainly is not white. You knew what the note said. she knew the contents of the note? No! It says, wear white scarf for identification. It is the white scarf, it's true. That's the reason why you said it was white. Well, Miss Foster? No! Order, order, order. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm waiting for an explanation. I'm quite sure this note wasn't leaked to the public. And yet, this witness knew exactly what the note said. At the time of the murder, the number of people that knew were quite limited. Yes, that's very true. But I also missed the very obvious fact that the scarf was not white. It was admittedly touched on, but I forgot. Terry Falls is one. The person who wrote the note, Valerie Hawthorne, is another. And finally, one more person. Did you say one more person, Dahlia? That's right, a person that no one would have suspected. Have you figured it out, kitten? Yup. The third person who knew the contents of the note was... And that person is Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne? I've never heard that name before. Look at the victim's note. This is what it says. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. There is her name right there. Well, what's this? So who is this person, this Dahlia Hawthorne? Miss Fay must be desperate if she's trying to bring the dead back to life. The dead? Dahlia Hawthorne was the victim's deceased younger sister. She was killed in a crime 5 years ago. Killed in a crime? You don't mean... Yes, she was kidnapped and killed by Terry Falls. You said she was killed, but was she really? What are you implying? Of course people thought she had died 5 years ago, but when she fell off the Dusky Ridge and was lost in the Eagle River. However, her corpse was never found. She was declared legally dead 5 years ago. As far as the law is concerned, Dahlia Hawthorne is officially dead. But the fact remains that her body was never recovered. Dahlia Hawthorne was 14 years old 5 years ago. If she were still alive, she would be 19 now. Melissa Foster. I believe that's the same age you are. Objection! Even you couldn't. Miss Fay, you're not saying. But I am. That's precisely what I'm saying. This witness before us is the girl that was kidnapped and killed 5 years ago. I'm going to save in case they give me more information that I have to get right. This girl is in fact Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. What? Ha, nice work. That was like tossing a grenade into a 3-alarm fire. But unless you can tie all the loose ends together, you're nothing but a hit-and-run arsonist. I understand. If I can expose her true nature, I can turn this whole case on its head. Now's my chance to make Mr. Edgeworth squirm. Witness? Just who are you anyway? I didn't think it'd come to this. That's enough. You don't have to say anymore, witness. Yes, I understand. What? Mr. Edgeworth, explain yourself. Your Honor, I have an admission to make. I honestly never thought the defense would pursue this matter this far. You don't mean... Yes, the prosecutor's office isn't filled with fools, you know. Naturally, we conduct full background checks on all of our witnesses. What did he say? Ha, it looks like the kid knew. He knew a true identity from the get-go. No way, but then why? If you hadn't revealed your secret, he wasn't going to say anything about it. All he wanted was her testimony, so he made it a little trade. Let me introduce you to the victim's younger sister, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. But, I thought she died 5 years ago. We thought so as well. But, well, as you can see... Why? Why did she hide her identity for 5 years? That has nothing to do with the current case. She was merely an accidental witness to a crime. Accidental? I don't believe that for a minute. For the last 5 years, she's been playing the role of a victim. And now we find her acting suspiciously at another murder scene. Really, Miss Fay, your strategy is clearly obvious. You're trying to pin your client's crime on an innocent witness in order to win. At any cost. How dare you? Please, let us take a moment to think. 5 years ago, this girl was kidnapped and nearly killed. But even worse than that, 5 years later, Dahlia Hawthorne lost something much more precious. Miss Fay must be insane to even suggest that she murdered her. What? I'm inclined to agree with the prosecutor's logic. Miss Fay, do you have any evidence to back up your assertion? What possible reason would the witness have for killing her beloved sister? Well, you see, I thought I was winning, but somehow he turned it around on me. Ha. I think you need a little push in the right direction, kitten. Well, bold of you to assume I'm going to go in the right direction. I'm assuming we have to present the gem. But, let's find out. The defense is prepared to present... Sorry about that. Is prepared to present evidence supporting our claim. Ah, that wasn't me. It was this guy, this crazy coffee addict. Objection! I think we've heard enough empty threats from you, old man. What makes you think they're empty, boy? Because your protege looks like she's sweating bullets. I am sweating bullets. Thank you. Yes, I made that joke at the very, very beginning that I was thinking of having the mask and everything else, and I'm like, how committed am I to this bit? And then I'm like, not enough. So I decided to not do it. I am sweating bullets. You think you're in a tough spot, huh? Of course, aren't I? No. You've just arrived at the moment of truth, that's all. Whether you win or lose, it's the path you choose. That's up to you. Up to me. The rashness of youth, how charming. It's coming from someone younger than me. Now then, let's not waste any more time. Miss Fay, what motive would this witness have for murdering her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne? She wanted that scarf really, really bad. That's gotta be it. The diamond. What is this? Is this the defense's idea of a joke? If so, I certainly don't get the punchline. Well, Miss Fay? Oh, that was... the rashness of youth. The rashness of youth? And what is your point in furthering such a stare? Really? That's not it? No reason to further prolong the trial. Uh-oh. Nor is there any need for more time to decide against the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. The court finds the defendant, Terry Falls, guilty. That is all. This court is adjourned. Sorry. So, is it the memo itself? That's the she killed to keep the sister from blabbing about it? That's the other alternative. So we have to jump forward a bit to the presenting stage again.
Objection!
Okay, so I'll have to probably save again a little closer here. Yeah, they haven't been established, but... Okay, so let's go ahead and save here. I think that's far enough ahead. I'm thinking it's the memo. Up to me. The rashness of youth, how charming. And now let's go back to this again. Let's not waste any more time. victim's note. The story starts after Terry Falls escaped. Well, before we get into that story, I need to take a quick break. I shall return shortly, and we'll hear the whole story. Thank you for the hydrate beer, Kidney. All right. The coffee mug thunking, or I guess the tea mug in this case, thunking reminded me of the Phoenix Wright gavel bang. Anyway, the story starts after Terry Falls escaped. He called Valerie and told her he wanted to meet. This is the note she left. It says, talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Valerie Hawthorne gave Dahlia a warning. She told her she was going to reveal to the world the whole truth. The whole truth? There was a dangerously important secret between Valerie and Dahlia. That's the reason Dahlia felt she had to kill Valerie. To keep her mouth shut permanently. A terrific story, Miss Fay. If you like fiction, that is. Enlighten the court, Miss Fay. What was this secret that was so important? Where's your evidence? Got it right here. The diamond. I think it's time for the diamond now. Dahlia and Valerie Hawthorne and Terry Falls. There's only one important secret that connects them all. Oh yes, I know this secret. Your Honor, the defense would like to request further testimony. What testimony? Regarding the kidnapping 5 years ago, we believe it will explain a lot of things, such as the nature of the important secret between the Hawthorne sisters. Very well. I'll grant your request for further testimony. I know it will be painful for you, but can enlighten us once more, my little maple leaf. Yes, I'll try, Mr. Judge. Putting on the old charm one more time, Dahlia. But this will be the last time you hide behind your womanly wiles. Except it's not. We know that Case 1 exists in this game. Sorry. You're wrong. 5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister Valerie brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money. So I decided to change my identity and start a new life. The kidnapping left her emotionally scarred. With her sister's help, she left the Hawthorne family and started all over again. And we're to believe after all that she murdered her sister? Preposterous. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Miss Fay? Yes, Your Honor. As you've heard, the witness is still traumatized from the kidnapping. I'll ask you again to be extremely gentle in your cross-examination. Mr. Edgeworth's got the jump on me again. If we're not allowed to fight, then let's twist some arms. Listen up. We've still got that info. That ace up our sleeve. What info? Come on, kitten. Don't say you've forgotten already. The fact that the kidnapping 5 years ago was staged. That's right. It was a fake kidnapping. Terry Falls told us that in the lobby. I'd do anything she says, anything Dahlia says. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by, yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie, too. Yes, that's it. The fake kidnapping is your best shot, Mia. That's her secret. 5 years ago. Cross-examination. Kidnapped by Mr. Falls. Did you and Mr. Falls have a relationship? Yes, as a tutor. You were tutoring him, Mr. Falls? No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. Mr. Falls came to the house to tutor me. That makes sense. 5 years ago, she was only 14. He probably came up with the kidnapping plan during that time. The Hawthorns are in the jewelry trade and are quite wealthy, you see. Quite the clever fellow, that Mr. Falls. Sorry, throat is definitely tickling more. Did he just call Mr. Falls a clever fellow? The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister Valerie brought it to the bridge. I heard the diamond is valued in the neighborhood of $2 million. $2 million? It was still uncut, so it was about the size of a pint of milk. A $2 million pint of milk. I don't know what to think about that. The defendant demanded that her sister Valerie make the exchange. Not as a detective, of course, but as an individual. By the way, I want to ask you, Mr. Edgeworth, why do you think he wanted to make the exchange up there on that mountain? If he ever got surrounded, it would be hard to escape. There's only one thing a kidnapper wants to prevent, and that's police involvement. In a place like that, it would be easy to tell if he was being followed. With only one entrance to the mountain, he was ensuring his safety. What a wickedly clever man that Mr. Falls is. Yeah, right. It was all your plan. Anyway, Valerie brought the diamond to the mountain, and after she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. Does that extra detail matter? Is there anything I can reference relating to it? I don't think there is. That was a dangerous thing to do considering you were being held hostage. Yes, but actually that saved my life. What do you mean? You see, Mr. Falls was holding a knife in his right hand. But he shot the left arm, right? Left arm, left? Left, right, left? Was holding a knife in his right hand. Somehow I just knew he was going to use it. I knew he was going to use that knife to kill me. That's why my sister shot him. It was to save me. That's why Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I'd like to hear more about what happened right at that moment. Well, when Mr. Falls was shot in the right arm, he let go of me. I was dazed. I turned to try and run away, but Mr. Falls turned to grab me as well. As I ran past, he and I locked eyes for a second, and he gave me a large, bloodthirsty grin. Bloodthirsty grin? Oh. And then in the next instant... I advised the court to remember that the river is 18 feet deep and incredibly swift. I was a strong swimmer, but I was knocked out. When I came to, I had been carried away by the river to a strange place. I'll never forget that day. The crumbling bridge, nowhere to run. Then just one little shove from behind. That was it. Before my sister could catch me, I fell into the river. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money. And That's why you hid your identity?
Yes, I only told my sister.
Valerie Hawthorne, eh?
Yes, she's the only one who knew about me.
Meanwhile, legally, this witness has been deceased for 5 years.
I didn't ever want something like that to happen to me again. So I decided to change my identity and start a new life.
Of crime. And that new identity was Melissa Foster, right?
Yes, my sister helped me get the official paperwork taken care of.
That makes sense. Without an insider's help, doing all of the paperwork would have been impossible.
She was the only person left in the world I could count on. And you think I killed her? There's no way I could.
It's the moment of truth for this witness, too. Once the truth about the staged kidnapping comes out, everyone in the courtroom will know how much of a Jezebel she really is. I've just got to prove that the kidnapping was a hoax. So the only thing I'm really picking up on is the fact that the knife was in one hand and she was shot in the left. Shot the right arm, rather, which didn't have the knife in it. But, like, what do I actually present? Is the problem. Unless I'm supposed to go back and, like, repress certain things after I press everything. Holding a knife in the right hand. Shot him to save. Oh, he was holding the knife in the right hand. Maybe I just made stuff up. Oh, I used the wrong one. I meant to press the one right before that one. There was a ton of hints showing the visual evidence of the contradiction. I mean, is it once again the fact that she is running to the... It'd be the, Yeah, so that would it'd still be the same contradiction here, right? You may say that Mr. Falls pushed you into the Eagle River. You say that Mr. Falls pushed you into the Eagle River. However, that's hard to believe. The wrong way, but it's true. I felt a push on my back. I'm certain of it. It was Mr. Falls. I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't clear enough. I shouldn't have said that's hard to believe. I should have said that's impossible. Impossible? I asked that the court recall the condition of Dusky Bridge now and 5 years ago. That bridge hasn't changed one bit in these last 5 years. If someone had pushed you from behind as you have claimed, instead of being carried away by the river, you would have been smashed by the bedrock below. A most certain death. Do you understand now, Dahlia Hawthorne? The very notion that my client pushed you from behind is impossible. Ah! Your Honor, this event occurred 5 years ago. Why, for all we know, the water level in the river may have been higher back then. That's actually a pretty good statement. I like that. It's a pretty good argument. But it's 40 feet from the bridge to the river. A small change in water level wouldn't have made a difference. Good counter. But I like the water level angle. I have to respect it. You're right, if the events occurred just as the witnesses testified, then the defendant couldn't have pushed the witness into the river. Young lady, what is the meaning of this?
You see,
Just a moment, Your Honor. It's true that the witness testified that the defendant pushed her into the river. However, she never stated that she fell from the back end of the bridge. What do you mean? After being shot in the arm, it's plausible Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side. Yeah, that's the other angle. If that's true, she would have fallen into the river. Well, Miss Hawthorne, is Mr. Edgeworth's explanation correct? Now that you mention it, I do remember now when I fell off the bridge, my skirt got caught on one of the bridge's side wires. You can't be serious. Order in the court. It seems Mrs. Faye's assault has finally reached its conclusion. Not now, Mia. This is no time to retreat. No, I was gonna say something insane like that piece of the cloth that got stuck on the bridge contains the diamond. But, like, there's no way she would have waited 5 years to get it. She would have gotten it earlier. So, that'd be a funny twist, but, like, there's no way in the world that would be the case. Unfortunately for you, this is just the start of Miss Faye's assault. What? I believe your reasoning went something like this, Mr. Edgeworth. After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. However, once again, I'm forced to say that's impossible. Ridiculous. What's so impossible about it? Because your flawed logic contradicts the court record. It does? Does it? I mean, you could technically just kind of go, until she goes through. You could technically throw her over. It contradicts the court record. I mean, do we want to... I mean, are we saying it's impossible because of these little rails that can easily be, like... I don't know. I don't know. Your Honor, all of the answers are right here in this photo. Take a look at the wires supporting both sides of the bridge. They extend up to about 5 feet off the ground. It would be impossible to push someone off from there. No, I think if you carry somebody and go like, yeah, it'll work. No! But let's remember the size and strength of the defendant. Wires like this wouldn't be a problem for him. He could have easily picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over. So young and already so forgetful, Mr. Edgeworth. I guess I'm forgetful too. Like, why is that a problem? Had been shot in the right arm. Oh. Well, he's really strong with his left. And more importantly, Valerie Hawthorne had a gun trained on him at point-blank range. Ugh. Okay, fine. You're right. So, Mr. Falls throwing the witness off the bridge? This is clearly impossible. Wah. Order! What is the meaning of this? Dahlia Hawthorne, you jumped into the Eagle River intentionally. What? What is this? Indeed, what do you mean by such a ridiculous remark? Yes, it's ridiculous. My sister was there to help me. She had her gun and handcuffs. She could have saved me. Jumping into a raging river like that would have been suicide. Perhaps, but still, that's exactly what you did. You were probably confident that you could handle the swift current. But even more so, the witness had a much more compelling reason for jumping into the river. Oh, then what was it? What was so important that she'd want to jump into the river? The answer is the butterflies. They turned violent. They started a life of crime. They were attacking her. The witness is still alive. The fact alone explains everything.
This is why she risked her life by jumping into the rapids of the Eagle River. 5 years ago, something else disappeared along with Dahlia that day. I need to blow my nose. One moment. Here we go. Something else disappeared along with Dahlia that day. This item that Valerie brought up the mountain with her. The $2 million diamond. Ah! No, it can't be. Yes, Dahlia had it all planned from the beginning. The $2 million. She was going to keep it all for herself. She forced Mr. Falls to help her fake the kidnapping. At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river, with the ransom tucked away safely in her backpack. Why, that's simply ridiculous. Order, order, order! Your Honor, 5 years ago, the witness was only 14 years old. Do you really think a 14-year-old is capable of such a demonic plan? This woman is a demon. And there was one more person who helped make a demon out of her. Her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. You mean the victim was involved in the kidnapping plot as well? But she was the detective then. You're saying she participated in her sister's kidnapping? Precisely. I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years. This is the sole reason behind the victim's murder. I'll save just in case. We've basically presented almost everything that's in our arsenal. We must be nearing something. What do you mean by that? On the day of the murder, after receiving the phone call from Mr. Falls, Valerie called her sister Dahlia. And then she told her what she was planning to do. Planning to do? She was going to tell the whole truth, as she wrote in her note. That is what sealed Valerie Hawthorne's fate. That is when you hatched your demonic plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. A plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices in the kidnapping would talk. And that is why you killed your sister, Valerie Hawthorne. Hee. Who was that, laughing at a time like this? Forgive me, it's just hilarious. Witness? Is that you? You amuse me, woman. Miss Mia Fey. You can certainly weave an exciting tale. Naturally, you have the evidence to back it up, don't you? Evidence. Evidence that I planned the kidnapping, of course. That at 14 I plotted it with Mr. Falls and my sister. Well, and one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? If you can't provide evidence to at least show that... Well, Miss Fey, I don't know. What a joke. You, Miss Fey. Are you stupid or something? How could I prove a fake kidnapping that happened 5 years ago? I don't even have decisive proof of Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Well, it seems that we've come to an end. To be honest, the witness's behavior does raise certain suspicions. However, I'm forced to reject the assertions made by the defense. Of course you are. Is this it? Is it really over? That girl has made a fool of me and there's nothing I can do about it. Ha! Without evidence, the trial is over. Who decided that? Mr. Armando? Come on now, kitten. Haven't you figured out that you can make your own rules? I was gonna say we could make our own evidence up, which is like what we did in the last case. For example, even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony. Testimony? On the day in question, Dahlia Hawthorne murdered her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. She hid her body in the trunk of Mr. Fall's stolen car and then went to meet with him, disguised as her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. That's what you think, right? Yes, that's right. In that case, there's only one answer, right? There's only one person left who can testify about Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Mr. Falls. Since there's no proof, there's only one thing left to do. Who is the person who can testify that demon woman's crimes? Your Honor, the defense wishes to call a new witness. A new witness? Yes, we would like to hear the testimony of Terry Falls. The defendant? There's only one person that can shed any further light on the situation. Only one person that knows what Dahlia's role in the kidnapping was. Only one person who can say whether the person in the photo is Valerie Hawthorne, or whether it was in fact her younger sister Dahlia, disguised as her. There's only one person who can solve this riddle once and for all, and that person is Terry Falls. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what is your take on this? Why not? The prosecution has no objection. Very well. Bailiff, bring the defendant to the witness stand. This is my last chance, Mr. Falls. My last chance to establish Dahlia's guilt. You're all I have left. Defendant, you've heard everything that's been said up to this point, yes? I don't believe it. No way. Dahlia died 5 years ago. Valerie betrayed me. Mr. Falls, I don't know what she said to you 5 years ago, but one thing is clear. Dahlia is very much alive, and you were used for $2 million. That's not true. Mr. Falls, there's only one question I want the answer to. 2 days ago on Dusky Bridge, who did you meet? Was it Valerie Hawthorne or was it Dahlia Hawthorne? Dahlia, did you betray me? 5 years ago she promised never ever betray each other. Terry. Dahlia, it's true. You are alive. You don't trust me anymore? That makes me sad. Tell the truth, the real truth. I believed in you. I shouldn't need to say it. You should already know. But there is one thing that I will say. My life is in your hands right now, Terry. Leah. I will allow Mr. Falls to testify once and only once. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well then, Mr. Falls, yours will be the final testimony in this trial. Witness? Gah! Eek! I'm sorry. I apologize. Water. Please. Water. Can't talk. Need water. Ha. Oh well, I guess it'll have to be my coffee instead. At least it'll match the way he's probably feeling right now. Darker and bitterer than hell itself. Wah! Who Terry Fox saw? Falls. I keep calling him Fox. That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of Bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on Bridge. I watched my car from Bridge. I never put no body in that car. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. We talked. Then she left. That was Valerie. Not my Dahlia. Mr. Falls, you're covering for her. Do you think she would do the same for you? That's enough, Miss Fay. His last statement was a fitting way to end the final testimony of the trial. Well then, Miss Fay, please proceed with your cross-examination. Is this how you want it to end, Mr. Falls? Hikaru, thank you so much for the 4 months. Merry almost Christmas to you as well. We're almost at the end of case 4, maybe. We're at least almost at the end of this trial. I don't know if we're at the end almost of case 4. But we'll see. Another guilty verdict to go along with your death sentence? There's only one person who can stop it. You, kitten, I think. Appreciate that. Good to have you here. Who Cherry Falls saw. That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of the bridge. According to the note, the meeting was supposed to take place at 4:30. You certainly arrived early, didn't you? It was raining. Already dark, too. Waited on the bridge for 30 minutes? Mr. Falls? Eagle Mountain. That spot. Strong, strong memories. Why did he just clam up? Could it be he's hiding something here? She wasn't there, so I waited on bridge. You were quite early, so you waited on the bridge, correct? Yeah, I like waiting. I'm used to it. I'm sure he is, Zebra Boy. Waited 5 years to ask a single question, to find out why a woman betrayed him. To him, 30 minutes must have been like a blink of an eye. In which case, why didn't he wait until the victim was 19, I watched my car from bridge. I never put no body in that car. You were watching the car? That bridge, other side is broken. Nobody can come from there. So, I was watching car. What else were you expecting him to do? I suppose that's the obvious thing to do, but something's bothering me. I'm getting that feeling. A contradiction? I wonder what's on the other side of the broken bridge anyway. No one lives there. There's a small shrine up on the mountain, but that's it. Anyway, nobody came. No car, nothing. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. Well, the problem is the positioning of Mr. Fox not being... he was facing this direction rather than facing the other. Mr. Falls, think carefully now. Are you certain that it was Valerie Hawthorne? I never lie. Here's the truth. It was Valerie. I remembered her face. Wait a minute. If you had remembered her face, then why did you make her wear a scarf at the identification? Sorry. I told a little lie. What? The woman I met, she was different from the woman standing here now. She was different. It was Valerie. We talked, then she left. What did you talk to her about anyway? Mr. Falls. Valerie told the truth about the kidnapping 5 years ago. She said someone needed to take the blame for it. That was all I could think to do. She said that. That's why she lied. Got me the death penalty. And were you satisfied with that answer, witness? Dahlia died. It was my fault. But I don't really remember. Maybe I did. Maybe I did push her in. It don't matter no more. Either way, my Dahlia, my sweet teen angel, dead. But you just saw that she isn't dead. After Valerie talked to me on bridge, nothing left to live for. That was Valerie, not my Dahlia. How can you be so sure? It was raining at the time, and sunset that day was at 5 o'clock. It would have already been pretty dark on that mountain by 4:30. Please, Mr. Falls, this is your last chance. You've already taken the fall once for something you didn't do. That woman, it wasn't Dahlia. Stop right there. What more needs to be said? Even if it means the death penalty, even if it means taking the blame for murder? You'll still do whatever it is necessary to protect her, won't you, Mr. Falls? I know it's obvious, but he's clearly lying. He's been cursed by Dahlia Hawthorne. He'll probably go to his grave still believing in her. Mr. Falls, even if you can show he's lying, the poor guy will still be cursed. You'll still have to point out the contradiction anyway. That's the curse of being a defense lawyer, I guess. So, I'm going to present the photo. Because he's facing the other way.
Objection!
So when you got to the bridge, no one had arrived, huh? So you were waiting on the bridge, you're sure of that? Yeah, I'm sure. You're sure, huh? Well, then I'm sure too, Mr. Falls. I'm sure that you're lying. Huh? Wha, wha. Oh, I would love to hear your rationale on this, Miss Fay. You want to know who arrived at the bridge first? Just look at this photo. It's perfectly clear. Obviously, the person that came first would be the one at the end of the bridge, right? But that's the victim at the end of the bridge. Precisely my point. In other words, Mr. Falls, you must have arrived at the bridge after she did. N- Uh, uh, yeah. Blah. Bweh, bweh, bweh. Mr. Falls, please don't get so worked up. We just want the truth. I got there around 4 o'clock. It's true. I had somewhere to go. A special place. Did you go to this special place before you went to the bridge? Yeah, it's an old temple about 15 minutes from the bridge. 5 years ago, me and Dahlia, we promised each other. We swore we wouldn't betray each other. She brought a memento to represent our love. What is it with her and giving mementos of murder weapons and things that are like gonna come back to bite her? Maybe she should just stop doing it. Like, stop doing that with all of her crimes. It's coming back to bite her. To represent our love. Memento? 5 years ago, I hid it under a base of tree there. It's a special memory for me. This is it. This is what I went to get. This little bottle on a necklace is your memento? It's quite charming, but it looks empty. Your Honor, you heard what my client said. He arrived at the scene at 4 o'clock, but he then left his car unattended and walked away. He was gone for approximately 30 minutes. With that much time, Dahlia Hawthorne could have easily hidden the body in the trunk of his car. No. Indeed, there certainly was enough time for it. I've still got a chance. Mr. Falls, there's no mistaking it. Huh? Mr. Falls? That's enough. Please. Witness! I promised her 5 years ago, if it ever happens, that we can't trust each other no more. Oh, he took it. No. No wonder he... Okay, if this is the case, no wonder she still remembers the first case and tried to block it from her memory. We're supposed to drink bottle. No, stop the trial. Your Honor, we need a recess. I was stupid, couldn't keep promise, so I did it. I drank this. No, we are so close, just a little more. I was going to prove your innocence. No, don't want that. Don't trust self. Maybe kill again. Kill sweet Dahlia again. Mr. Falls. Mr. Armando. Thanks for the coffee? Mr. Falls! And so my first trial ended, suddenly and tragically. It ended with no winners, only losers. I ended up with a wound that cut so deep into my soul I thought it'd never heal. I'm sure it was the same for the young prosecutor as well. He did. He really did. Well, my goodness, I didn't predict that. Maybe I should have. I don't know. I mean, I didn't think the bottle would be used again. But, it is poetic. No wonder Mia reacted so strongly to that present in case 1. But one person, the true criminal, Dahlia Hawthorne, she left the courtroom with a secret smile on her demonically sweet face. Unforgivable, that witch. Mr. Armando, we were so close to the truth, it was right there in front of us. You were just a little too soft, kitten. It's my fault? It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself. Don't cry, kitten. You're going to make my coffee all salty. I knew it. I knew I wasn't cut out for this. Mia, don't you get it? You can't cry yet. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. Mr. Armando. No matter how tough the case, no matter how bitter the memories, they always fade over time. Then you file them away and eventually forget them. 1 year later, in this very same courthouse, I myself got wrapped up in that case. Welcome, Running Wild Video. We're still in case 4 right now. Only after that did Dahlia Hawthorne get put on trial for her crimes. The verdict that was ultimately handed down to her was guilty, of course. Naturally, when the verdict was read, she had a perfect, angelic smile on her face. That was definitely my reaction to what ended up happening. I had the H enrollment expression on my face. At least it was finally all over. At least that's what I thought at the time. I mean, I guess all of the signs were there that he wasn't wanting to give her up. I just thought that we were going to be close to the finish line. And I guess we were, in a poetic twist. It was finally all over, at least that's what I thought at the time. Unfortunately, I couldn't have been more wrong. It's been 5 years, but now something has happened that made me remember all this. The end. Episode 4, my goodness. So episode 5 is going to be insane. It's probably going to be insanely lengthy, if I had to guess. Because we still need to figure out, why is Diego Armando, why is he so against Phoenix Wright? Like, what? Honestly, I don't get the connection quite yet. Was it something about the way that, I guess we were kind of sneezing like crazy back when we were killing colds good, but I don't know. There's a lot to really put together. Is Franziska von Karma going to matter in any way, shape, or form? We had the whip handoff from Edgeworth and her. I don't know if she's going to show up or be relevant. She may not. Um, I'm definitely curious. This was a good chapter. I mean, it was courtroom antics. It had a pretty shocking, at least for basically all the cases I've gone through, it had a shocking conclusion. But I guess it does fill in some of the holes about why she tried to block out the first trial and why she had to relearn everything case 2, I guess. Like, I don't know what a court record is, like, what is any of this? And I guess, like, she got pretty messed up from that. So let's go ahead and save. No spoilers, although I do want to take a quick little... Okay, so looking at this, there's turnaround beginnings. Now, of course, there's not the natural divide that the 3DS has, so it looks like his pants, like his waist, is completely gone. So that's kind of one of the downsides of doing like the 3DS captures. You don't have that natural barrier that serves as like. So yeah, he has no waist. No wonder, no wonder he is such a hard nose in court. Anyway, I do not know I have no idea how long case episode 5 is going to be. I imagine pretty long. Yeah, Midi Edgeworth, that's true. You seem a lot taller at the prosecution podium. I suppose that's the trick. Christmas raid. Is there anybody I can raid right now? Let me take a look. Buddy, I can raid right now. Let's see. Blobbert. Thank you for the blobberts. And he was just a bab. It's true. It's like it's his first case. He'll grow some he'll grow a hip, but he doesn't want to grow it too effectively. You know what that'll cause? Hemorrhoids. Just ask Grossberg about that. It's not fun. But I think what we'll go ahead and do is we'll call it here. I don't have anybody that's live currently that I follow, which is unfortunate. It's one of the consequences of starting the stream a bit late than I normally will. So that is a little bit of a sad part. But Tuesday, I should be over whatever I have here. All intents and purposes, I guess the nap for 3 hours really helped. I was worried I'd have like hot and cold flashes like I had been having most of the day. Didn't have any. Was able to wear this just fine. I just had occasional cough now and then. Occasional time I had to step away from the camera to blow my nose, but doing pretty well. All things considered. I hope that continues because I am planning on doing a lot of walking tomorrow because the temperature is actually supposed to be reasonable to be able to allow me to do that. So, but yes, that'll be it. I'll be back on Thursday. There will be a Christmas stream in the afternoon after all is said and done. But I am off Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so I'm going to get some sleep. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I appreciate all the help and hints as always, Tay. I always appreciate them. They're very, very nondescript, but also descriptive enough to help me out. So I will see everybody. Have a happy holiday, everyone, and take care. I must have a Santa hat. I don't own one. I'd have to find one somewhere. But thanks, everybody. Take care.